Once upon a time, there was a 5-year-old orphaned girl named Heidi. She was a very beautiful little girl with dark brown eyes, short black hair and rosy cheeks. Heidi was brought up by her Aunt Dieter, who lived in Switzerland. One day, Heidi's life was turned upside down when her aunt found a job in another city. Aunt Dieter, who couldn't bring Heidi along with her.
"We're going to the Alps to your grandfather's, my dear. You'll stay with him for some time, and I'll come and get you when my work is done. This is for your own good, you understand, right?"
Yes, I do. You know what's best for me, Auntie. I'll bring my dolls with me and we'll wait for you. I'm also looking forward to meeting my grandfather. I can't wait.
After a very long trip, they finally arrived at her grandfather's cottage. Grandpa Adolf lived there with his dog Joseph. Everyone knew him as a moody and a difficult man, but he was actually very soft-hearted. Aunt Dieter explained to him the situation and left Heidi there. Heidi and her grandpa loved each other from the moment they met. The little girl's antics brought life to that cottage. Grandpa Adolf got used to his new life with Heidi and couldn't think of a life without her. He no longer walked with a frowned face.
"Where have you been, Heidi? I feel reborn having you here with me. I love you, my dear grandchild."
Me too, Grandpa. I really love you and I also love it around here. Sadly, I have no friends.
"There's a boy named Peter. He lives with his blind grandmother in a cottage near ours. Tomorrow I will introduce you. What do you say?"
Oh, that's wonderful! Hooray!
Peter was a boy who was also a goat herder in his spare time after school.
"Peter, let me introduce you to my granddaughter, Heidi."
Hello, Heidi.
Hello, Peter.
Go on. Go and play together, okay?
After that day, they became very good friends. Heidi and Peter gazing every day. She would climb up steep slopes, much like goats did, and she ran barefooted.
Peter, run! One of the kids is running away from the herd. Let's catch it.
Don't worry, it'll come back.
Phew, got scared there for a bit. Okay then, let me gather some flowers. I'll give them to your grandmother when we get back. I hope she gives me some fresh goat milk in return.
Peter taught Heidi how to milk the goats. They also named the goats one by one. Heidi even cooked soup at home and brought fresh baked bread to Grandma. Her joy and optimism had infected everyone. After a few years, Aunt Dieter came back to get Heidi. She was going to take her to a rich family that lived in Frankfurt so that she could get an education and could have a better life.
I can't give Heidi up. What will I do without her?
Please don't take me, Auntie. I don't want to be apart from Grandpa. I don't want to leave. I'm very happy here.
You're going to live with a very rich family, Heidi. You'll live in a huge house and get an education in a very good school.
I don't care about those things.
My dear grandchild, you know how much I love you and how much I will miss you. But I think your Aunt Dieter is right. It will be a better life for you.
Listen to what I have to say. The family with whom you'll be staying has a daughter your age. You two can become friends. Clara is not able to walk and she has no friends. She needs a friend just like you. Come on, you'll see. You'll be much happier there.
Grandpa Adolf and Heidi were both in tears. After a long trip, they arrived in Frankfurt. They arrived at a huge house, and the housekeeper, Mrs. Rottenmeier, met them at the door.
Welcome. I'm Miss Rottenmeier.
And I'm Clara. Welcome, Heidi.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Heidi, it's time for me to go. Take care of yourself, my dear. I'm pretty sure you will get along very well with Clara. Make sure you listen to what Miss Rottenmeier says. I love you, my dear niece.
That was when Miss Rottenmeier's nightmares started. She always frowned and never smiled, because she was a disciplinarian and a housekeeper.
Okay, the meeting ceremony is over. Remove those dirty things at once and take a shower. I'll bring you some clean attire.
Okay, Mrs. Rottenmeier, as you wish.
You can come to my room after you shower, Heidi. We can play together.
Oh, great! I'll clean up quickly and come then.
Clara lived in the big house with her father, grandmother, the housekeeper, Miss Rottenmeier, and the other servants. Most of the time, she would stay in her room and never draw the curtains or open the windows. All of a sudden, the room was full of daylight.
Clara, look how bright it is now. Sunshine will always help you feel much better.
As time passed, Heidi got used to her new place, and once again, she had made everyone fall in love with her. Every day, Heidi and Clara would play with her toys and then study. Miss Rottenmeier made it her goal to straighten up Heidi and turn her into a disciplined girl.
Listen to me. You'd better be a good girl. Do not run or wander around.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Rottenmeier.
Heidi tried to follow all the rules of the house, but she was having a great time with Clara. Nonetheless, she still missed the Alps, her grandfather and Peter. She would always dream of running in the countryside with the goats. One morning, Heidi couldn't get out of bed. Clara's grandma went to check on her right away.
Please, Grandma, send me back home.
That cheerful girl that everyone knew and loved had disappeared, and in her place was a sick and quiet Heidi who had also lost her appetite. Grandma felt bad for her, so she called in their doctor. The doctor said that she was nostalgic and the only cure was for her to be next to her loved ones in the mountains. So they decided to bring her back to her grandfather's. My life changed so much thanks to you, Heidi. I will miss you.
I'm so happy, Clara. Please understand me. That's my real home. Come and visit me as soon as you can.
Even after a very long and tiring trip, she was thrilled to see her grandfather again. She ran to him and hugged him joyously.
I miss you so much, Grandpa, and I missed everything and everyone around here.
I missed you too, my dear grandchild. We'll never be apart again. Look, Peter is here too.
Hi, Peter. I'm back.
Welcome back, Heidi. We've really missed you. Even the goats have.
Every day when they climbed the slopes, she would tell Peter about the mansion and the good times she spent there. After Heidi's return, Peter was back to his happy days.
I have a new friend. Her name is Clara. But I will miss her a lot.
Maybe one day she can come and visit, Heidi.
Some months passed. Heidi's wish came true. Clara had gotten permission to come to the Alps and stay with her. Heidi! Heidi! Look, I'm here!
I can't believe you're finally here. Welcome, Clara. We'll have a great time.
The two friends chatted until the late hours of the night. The next morning, after a wonderful breakfast, Heidi and Clara went out to the countryside and met with Peter. Clara kept them company while they were grazing the goats. It was a very different experience for her, but she was happy. But on the other hand, she was upset as she watched Heidi and Peter run and tumble. I wonder if I'll be able to run like her one day. I have no idea what that must feel like. Days passed. Clara regained her health by spending time outdoors in nature. Her cheeks were rosy. With the help of Grandpa Adolf and Heidi, she even started to get up from her wheelchair little by little.
Bravo, Clara! You can do it!
I'm so scared. What if I fall?
We're here, right next to you. You don't have to be afraid.
One day, as Clara watched Heidi and Peter gather the goats, she saw a cow running towards her. Help! Help! Frightened, she jumped out of her wheelchair and took a few steps. She was walking! A miracle had occurred. Actually, the cow was running towards the barn, but had caused Clara to walk. Peter and Heidi were shocked and didn't know what to do when they saw her. They ran to her and hugged her.
Hooray! Hooray!
You did it, Clara! You did it!
After that day, she took a few more steps every day. 1 step, 2 steps, until she was able to walk. It was now time for Clara to go back home. Her father and grandmother had come to take her. Clara waited for them in her wheelchair. When she saw them, she got up, ran, and hugged them as they entered the cottage. She wanted to surprise them. They all sat together and talked about the days that Clara had spent in the Alps. Clara reminisced about the incident with the cow. Clara, her father and grandmother stayed a few more days and then returned to Frankfurt. Everyone was back in their own home. Heidi in the Alps and Clara in Frankfurt. They continued their friendship through letters. Clara wrote to Heidi that she would come back to the Alps in springtime so they could run together and milk the goats. Finally, snow began to fall and winter had arrived. Throughout that winter, Peter and Heidi went sledding. From time to time, they would chat and study by the fireplace at night. Heidi's grandfather would fall asleep happily by the fireplace, knowing that Heidi would be by his side. Heidi, her grandpa, and all her loved ones lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a faraway country, there lived 2 brothers, Alibaba and Kasim. Alibaba, a poor woodcutter, was a kind and honest man. Meanwhile, Kasim, the older brother, was a jealous and greedy man with an evil heart. One day, as Alibaba was cutting and collecting logs in the forest, he saw a large group of horsemen coming towards him. Trembling with fear, he climbed up a tree. Even his donkey got so frightened that the poor thing hid behind the bushes.
Good heavens! 1, 2, 3, 40 of them! I guess these are the infamous 40 thieves who steal gold and jewels from others. I had better stay up here until they are gone.
Alibaba curiously started to watch the 40 thieves. The leader of the thieves got off of his horse in front of a rock and shouted,
"Open sesame!"
With a loud crashing sound, a big rock that served as a door opened up and the men entered the cave.
I had better not climb down the tree, I'll just wait here. They all had saddlebags. They probably keep the stolen goods inside the cave. Oh God, help me.
Frightened and bewildered, Alibaba didn't move a muscle and remained silent. After a while, the huge rock reopened and the thieves came out.
Close sesame!
The thieves left, riding their horses again. Though Alibaba was afraid, he was extremely curious. He climbed down the tree, walked to the entrance of the cave, only after he was certain that the thieves were gone. He said the magic words.
Open sesame!
The cave's door opened with a rumbling sound.
Wow! It opened when I said the magic words too.
Alibaba entered the cave a little hesitant. It was dark inside. A narrow passage led to the depth of the cave. After walking for a few minutes, he reached an open space. This was where the thieves kept all their treasure. Alibaba was amazed by what he saw. He couldn't believe his eyes. All the gold, jewels, and coins the thieves had stolen were piled up. He was so astonished.
Gosh, this is where they keep the stolen goods. What a big treasure. God knows from where and whom they stole all this. Whatever, I'm taking a sack full of this and leave before the thieves come back. Open sesame!
He got on his donkey and rode back home. When he got home, he told his wife everything. She rejoiced immensely at their great fortune, but was also very nervous.
Ali, these gold coins are not ours. I think we should bury them. We'll figure out what to do with them later.
You're right, I guess, but I wonder how much gold we have here.
So do I. Should we count it?
Counting piece by piece is no good. Ask my brother Kasim to lend us his scale. We'll weigh them and then hide them.
The next day, Alibaba's wife went to Kasim's place to borrow the scales.
Good morning. Can I borrow your scales?
Kasim's wife was a very curious woman, so before handing the scale to Alibaba's wife, she placed chewing gum underneath the scale pans. She wanted to know what they were going to weigh. When Alibaba's wife returned home, she handed the scales to Alibaba and they started to weigh the gold. And then they buried them in the garden as they had agreed. The next day, they returned the scales without noticing that a golden coin was stuck to the gum underneath the pan. Both Kasim and his wife were surprised when they found the gold coin.
Good heavens! Where did my brother find these gold coins?
I have no clue. I thought they would weigh flour or something else, but they were weighing gold.
I have to find out. I'll get the truth out of him.
Since he was a greedy man, he rushed to Alibaba's house to find out where he had gotten the gold coins.
Hi, Ali. Something weird happened. I found a gold coin stuck to one of the scale pans. You are a poor woodcutter. Where did that gold coin come from?
Alibaba did not want to answer at first, but since he couldn't lie, he told his brother everything. Knowing how greedy his brother was, he warned him in advance.
Don't you dare go there! Those gold coins are not ours. The thieves could kill us if they found out.
All right. You're such a coward. That's why you are and you'll always be a poor woodcutter.
Since Kasim loved money and gold so much, he ignored his brother's warning. He got 2 donkeys and rushed to the cave Alibaba told him about.
Open sesame!
The door immediately opened. He was so mesmerized by all the gold before him that he started rolling on the heaps of gold.
Hooray! I am rich! I am rich! Hooray! I am rich!
He loaded the crates with gold and walked to the exit. But once there, he couldn't remember the magic words.
What am I going to do now? Was it rice? Open rice. No, wheat it must be. Open wheat. Could it be potato by any chance? Open potato. I got it this time. Open tomato. Oh no! It won't open. What was it?
Kasim tried his hardest to remember the magic word when suddenly the door opened. The thieves were back. They caught Kasim red-handed.
Who are you? What are you doing in our cave? How did you get in?
My name is Kasim. I am Alibaba's older brother. He told me about your cave and sent me to get more gold. Please forgive me. I am innocent. Go get Alibaba instead.
Despite what he said, the leader of the thieves tied Kasim with a rope.
Now, tell me where I can find this Alibaba.
Scared out of his mind, he did as he was told. The leader of the thieves didn't want anybody to know about their secret cave, so he wanted to find Alibaba to imprison him in the cave. Kasim didn't return that day, so his wife was concerned. She went to Alibaba's house and told him that Kasim hadn't come back. She was very sad. Alibaba suspected what might have happened. Right before leaving, he noticed there was a cross painted on his door.
What is this sign?
I think I know what it is. I'll be right back.
Being a clever woman, Alibaba's wife understood that the thieves had marked their house. So she came up with a plan. She painted a cross sign on every door in the neighborhood in order to confuse the thieves. At midnight, when the thieves came to the neighborhood to get Alibaba, they saw that every single door was marked with a cross. They couldn't tell which was Alibaba's place.
All the doors are marked. We can't find Alibaba. We have to get back.
The next day, the leader of the thieves found out exactly where Alibaba lived. He hid his gang of thieves in 40 barrels and filled the 41st barrel with oil. He knocked on Alibaba's door.
Good evening. I'm an oil merchant. I come from very far. Can you let me spend the night here? In return for your kindness, I'll give you a barrel of oil.
Being the kind-hearted man Alibaba was, he wanted to help, so he let him in.
Sure, come on in. We were about to have supper. You are welcome to join us.
They sat at the table. While Alibaba and the leader of the thieves were eating, Alibaba's clever wife grew suspicious of the man. She went down to the cellar and checked the barrels.
Are you in there?
Yeah, is it time? Shall we come out?
Not yet. Wait for my instructions.
Alibaba's wife realized what was going on and rushed to the kitchen. She boiled some oil in a pot and poured it onto one of the barrels. The thief that was hidden in the barrel screamed in pain when he got burned and ran out of the house. This alerted the other thieves, who also left the house upon hearing the screams. Only the leader of the thieves remained, but he was also scared now and directly gave the order.
Get out of the barrels now! It's time!
To his surprise, he saw Alibaba's wife holding a scoop full of boiling oil standing in his way. To avoid the same fate of his gang, as he tried to escape, Alibaba and his son caught him and tied him with a rope, and they turned him into the authorities. Now it was time to save his brother Kasim. Alibaba rushed to the cave.
Open sesame!
Kasim was inexplicably happy to see his brother.
Thank goodness. I no longer care about gold or coins anymore. I was scared to death. Get me out of this place, Alibaba, please.
I told you you should not covet so much of worldly goods, it may cause you a lot of trouble.
Thanks to Alibaba, the thieves never returned to that country. The gold coins were distributed equally to all the residents. Their country was blessed with abundance. Alibaba and Kasim lived happily and peacefully with their families. Once upon a time, in a faraway country, a mother duck sat on her nest, patiently waiting for her 6 eggs to hatch. One day, she noticed that one of the eggs was bigger than the others.
I'm pretty sure that the ducklings that come out of this egg will be the most beautiful ducklings that anyone has ever seen.
Even though she convinced herself there was nothing wrong, the mother duck was still worried because this was the first time she had seen such a big egg. Finally, the eggshells began to crack, and one after another, the ducklings started coming out with joy as they were quacking. They all hatched but one. There was no movement in the big egg.
I guess it didn't get warmed enough. Now I'm gonna sit on it again to see if it hatches.
The ducklings sat beside their mother as she sat on the nest warming the big egg. Finally, the egg hatched. Everyone was curiously watching it. They were surprised at what they saw, a grey-coloured ugly duckling which looked nothing like his siblings. They were all staring at him.
Oh my, this duckling doesn't look like the others. The rest of my ducklings are so cute. Why is he so different?
Mother Duck was very sad. She consoled herself hoping that one day he might look like his siblings. But at the same time, she told herself that no matter what, he was her duckling too. Days passed and the ugly duckling was still the same. When they went for walks with their mother and wandered around, his siblings always left him behind.
What an ugly duckling you are!
You don't look like us.
Go away. We can't even play with you.
We don't like you.
We don't want you hanging out with us. The ugly duckling was really upset. He always walked with his head down, looking sad. One day, he went to the lake, and as he cried, he talked to himself.
My mother is very sad, and my siblings don't even want me. Why am I so ugly? I'm so lonely. Nobody loves me.
As he looked into the water, he saw his reflection.
My siblings are right. I'm really a strange-looking duck. My mother hasn't even kissed me once. I can't live with them anymore.
So he decided to leave his family and went to the forest to start a new life by himself. He walked for a long time and went very far. From time to time, he would stop to rest under a tree. If he found a body of water, he would swim to continue on his journey. Days and months passed, and the weather got colder. The ugly duckling was shivering and couldn't even find a decent meal. It also started snowing so much that the whole forest was now all white. He could barely walk. Luckily, that's when he spotted a farm. Excited, he went inside the coop. But the hens didn't want him either.
What kind of duck are you? Get out of our coop, now!
He spotted a doghouse in the farm. When he tried to go in, a huge dog confronted him.
Hey, where do you think you're going? This isn't your house. Who said that we are friends?
This time, The poor ugly duckling wanted to go inside the barn.
We sure don't want to see an ugly duckling like you among us. Your face is so ugly that we might stop producing milk altogether. Get out!
At that time, the owner of the farm was looking out the window. She felt sorry for the ugly duckling shivering and running from place to place, seeking shelter. The lady dried him and wrapped him up with a clean towel and brought him inside the house. She then placed him next to the fireplace so he could warm up.
Thank you for taking me in, ma'am.
You warm up now, duckling. Let me bring some food for you.
The lady also had a house cat. He was staring at the ugly duckling from afar. The cat got very jealous because his owner was now taking care of the duckling. While the ugly duckling was trying to warm up by the fireplace, the cat got close to him to taunt and scratch him. The poor ugly duckling had to endure the cat's taunting a few days. He just wanted to rest and be able to eat something to regain his strength. After some time, the ugly duckling decided to leave.
Thank you for having me as your guest, ma'am, but I need to go now. I do not wish to impose on you or cause any trouble.
The ugly duckling started his journey again. By then, the snow had melted and spring had come. On his way, he came across a little lake. He jumped in, and as he happily swam, he saw his reflection in the water.
Uh-oh, who's this? This is not me, or... Could it be? Last time I looked in the winter, I was an ugly-faced duckling.
He flapped and flapped his wings, and when he saw his huge shadow in the water, he shouted joyously.
Good heavens! How much I've grown and how handsome I've become! I wonder, how would my mother and siblings treat me if they saw me now?
Suddenly, 2 swans that looked like him swam towards him. Hi, welcome to our lake. We're swans just like you. Are you lost? You can join us if you'd like. You're one of us. At last, the ugly duckling knew the truth. It turns out that his egg had accidentally rolled over to his mother's nest, so he decided to stay with his own kind. He was very happy. He swam and swam in the calm waters of the lake, admiring his own beauty. However, no matter how happy he was, the ugly duckling couldn't forget his mother. As time passed by, he missed his mother and started thinking that he should have never left.
I was a swan egg that accidentally got mixed with my mother duck's eggs. My mother never separated me from the others and kept me warm so that I could hatch like my siblings. I owe her my life.
The ugly duckling told the story to his swan friends. He thanked them for everything, said goodbye, and headed back to the farm where he was born. When he arrived, he ran to his mother and siblings.
Don't you recognize me? I'm the ugly duckling. Actually, I'm a swan. I turned into a handsome swan. How do I look?
His mother was shocked, but happy to see her son again.
Welcome back home. I was so worried about you, and I'm so sorry for all the pain we caused you, my son.
His siblings were so ashamed.
We judged you based on your appearance.
Can you forgive us?
We broke your heart.
We will never make such a mistake.
Come on, let's swim together like the good old days. They all jumped into the water joyfully. They swam in tandem with Mother Duck at the front, followed by her 5 ducklings, and in the back the beautiful white swan, the ugly duckling. Swimming all together, they lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, there was a poor widowed woman that lived in a village. This woman had a son named Jack. Jack was a very lazy boy, and he would never help his mother around the house. He didn't work either to make some money. Although he was a very clever boy, he was useless.
Jack, wake up! You need to go to the market and sell the last cow we have left.
Had never worked. Their only livelihood was selling all the cows they owned after his father passed away.
I'm sorry, Milky Girl, but we have to sell you. We don't have anything left to eat.
On his way to the marketplace, Jack came across a strange old woman.
Good morning, young man. Where are you going?
I'm going to the market to sell our cow.
Don't bother going there. If you give me your cow, I will give you some of my magic beans in return. What do you say?
Jack didn't like this offer, but the woman insisted.
Look, these are magic beans. They will make you rich. Are you sure you don't want them?
What? Rich, you said? Okay, I'll take them.
Jack gave the cow to the old woman. He took the beans and headed back home.
Mom! Look, I sold the cow, and now we have magic beans. I didn't even have to go to the marketplace.
His poor mother almost fainted as she couldn't believe what she heard.
What? How can you do this, Jack? I only asked you to do one thing, but you couldn't even do that. To your room now.
Jack was very angry and upset. He threw the beans he had in his hand outside in the garden. Jack realized that he had been tricked. He was sad and starving. He couldn't even sleep. He regretted not doing what his mother told him to do. In the morning, the young man looked out the window and saw a plant that was growing rapidly. It was a giant beanstalk rising to the sky.
Oh, what is this? It's a beanstalk. I guess the old woman was telling the truth. The beans were magical. We'll be rich! Rich!
He immediately went out to the garden and started climbing the giant beanstalk. He kept on going up and up. It seemed the plant had no end. The beanstalk reached all the way to the clouds. Among the clouds, there was a huge house in front of him. Everything was so big that even the grass around the house looked like a tree next to Jack. Jack knocked on the door of the giant house. A giant woman opened the door.
I'm very hungry and tired. Can you give me something to eat?
The giant woman felt very sorry for the little boy.
Come on in, but you need to eat and go before my husband arrives. He hates children, and he can harm you.
Jack immediately sat at the table. When he started eating, he suddenly heard a loud and scary voice.
Fee-fi-fo-fum. It smells like children in here. This smell makes me lose my appetite. I don't like it. Where is he?
The giant woman's husband was a horrible-looking giant. The ground trembled when he walked.
Hurry, hide in the oven. He mustn't see you.
Frightened, Jack hid in the oven right away. When the giant couldn't find Jack, he sat at the table to eat his dinner. Once he finished, he went to his room to take a nap. He kept on saying, "I count, count, and I'm still not finished." Jack realized that the giant had left. When he was about to leave, he noticed a pouch full of gold on the table.
So this is what he meant when he kept on saying, "I count. Count, I couldn't finish."
Jack threw down the pouch that was more like a sack next to him and slid down the beanstalk.
Mother, look how much gold I've brought you. We're not poor anymore.
Son, where did you get this? I hope you didn't do anything wrong.
Jack convinced his mother and she was relieved. After some time, Jack couldn't stop thinking about the house at the top of the beanstalk.
I wonder what would happen if I go up there again. I'm now experienced too.
One day, he couldn't resist and climbed up the beanstalk again. He went to the giant's house. The giant's wife was a very nice woman, and she let him in again. Before long, the giant returned home. As soon as Jack heard his footsteps, he hid in the oven. The giant came in the house merrily, but his mood suddenly changed. He became angry and growled.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell children here again. You know I hate them. I know a child has come to our house today. Who is it?
There is no smell other than the meal I'm cooking, and no one came today. Let me prepare your dinner. You must be hungry.
The giant ate until he was completely full. Before he went to his room, he asked his wife to bring him his golden egg-laying chicken. His wife placed it on the table.
I order you! Golden egg! Golden egg!
The chicken would lay a golden egg each time, and the giant would put them in a basket. As soon as the giant went to his room, Jack, who had seen everything through the holes of the oven, grabbed the chicken and slid down the beanstalk back home. Time passed by. Jack and his mother were now very rich, but Jack still didn't want to work. He still couldn't stop thinking about the place where the giant lived. He was interested in the gold.
I will go one more time. This time I need to be more careful.
He went up the beanstalk and entered the house without the giant's wife noticing. He hid in the oven again, but as soon as the giant entered the house...
Fee, fi, fo, fum. Where is this child smell coming from? Ugh, I hate this smell.
The giant's wife, who didn't see Jack come in, told the giant.
You shout like this every time you think you smell a child. You can search everywhere. You'll see that there's no one in the house besides us.
The giant and his wife searched all over the house, but couldn't find Jack. Jack had hidden very well. After the giant had his meal, he called out to his wife.
Can you bring me my golden harp?
The harp that was on the table started playing such beautiful music that the giant, who was completely full, fell asleep soundly. Jack saw the giant fall asleep, grabbed the harp, and started to run. But the magical harp started to scream.
Help! Help! I'm being kidnapped!
The giant heard the harp's shouts and immediately woke up. He ran after Jack, chasing him. Jack was really scared.
So you're the one who stole my gold and my chicken. I'm going to catch you and imprison you for life.
Jack ran as fast as he could and he jumped and slid down the beanstalk while still holding onto the harp. The giant, who couldn't slide because of his huge body, was extremely angry. As soon as Jack slid down and reached his garden, he cut the beanstalk that, along with the giant, flew very far away. So Jack was now free of the giant. He wondered about the place the giant lived, but was never going to be able to go there again. Jack barely saved his life. He ran straight to his mother.
Mother, what I've done is not right. You warned me, but I didn't listen to you. From now on, I will never take anyone's belongings without asking them first. I have learned my lesson. No more laziness. I will find a job and work so that I can take care of you.
Oh, my dear clever son. I'm so happy.
After Jack's decision, the golden egg-laying chicken began laying normal eggs. Jack learned to play the magical harp because it no longer played by itself. From that day on, Jack and his mother lived a happy and peaceful life. Jack was now earning his own money as a farmer. He took care of his mother. He had the best job because it was the job he knew how to do. Once upon a time, in a faraway forest lived a bear family. Father bear, mother bear, and baby bear. The bear's family's favorite food was oatmeal. Mother bear would make it for breakfast almost every day. It was nice and warm.
Mom, I'm hungry. Can you bring me my oatmeal?
Okay, dear, but it's really hot. You should wait a little before you eat it, or you will burn your tongue.
Okay, Mom, then let's go for a walk so we can eat when we come back. The weather is beautiful anyway. What do you think?
That's a good idea. Let's go for a walk.
Mom, Dad, do you think we can also get some honey?
Sure, why not?
Okay, let's go then. Follow me.
So the bear family went for a walk. Meanwhile, on the other side of the forest lived a girl named Goldilocks that had long blonde curly hair. The little girl who lived with her parents loved the forest because the squirrels and rabbits were her friends. Her parents had warned her not to go far into the forest, so she played close to their house. Her golden curls bounced as she chased rabbits and butterflies. Her long curly hair was beautiful indeed. One day, Goldilocks asked her mother for permission to go into the forest.
Mom, the weather's so nice today. Can I stroll around the forest for a little while?
Okay, dear, but don't go too far. Be sure you stay on the path. Oh, there are some wild strawberries on your way. Could you gather some for me? I'm going to make some jam for you.
Delicious. I love them.
With a basket in hand, Goldilocks started her journey following the path. As she pranced merrily, her curls bounced on her back. This was her favourite thing to do. When she came across the wild strawberries, she started eating some and putting some in her basket.
What would happen if I go a little farther in the forest? If I don't go far, I won't be late.
So little by little, Goldilocks went deeper and deeper into the forest. Her rabbit friends followed her, hopping among the flowers, while she sang.
Creeks and rivers, seas and sky, I wish I had wings so I could fly. Creeks and rivers and seas and sky, I wish I had wings so I could fly. La 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 la.
After a while, she realized that she had gotten lost. She was worried and very frightened. Suddenly, she noticed a little cottage up ahead.
I wonder whose house this is.
She walked up to the door and knocked.
Anybody here? Yoo-hoo! Anyone? I don't think anyone is home. I'm lost and tired, so I should go in and rest a little. I'll ask for help when the owner gets home.
Goldilocks pushed the door, and it opened. So she went in.
This is such a cute cottage, and it smells delicious in here. I'm so hungry.
The aroma was coming from the 3 plates of hot oatmeal on the table. The biggest plate belonged to Father Bear, the middle one belonged to Mother Bear, and the smallest one was Baby Bear's plate. Goldilocks took a spoonful from the biggest plate and burnt her mouth.
Ooh, this is so hot.
Then she tried Mother Bear's oatmeal.
Ooh, this is hot too. I can't eat it.
Then she tried Baby Bear's oatmeal. It was warm and nice.
This is it. It's just right for me.
She finished it in a large gulp. She then walked around the cottage and saw 3 chairs in a corner. There were 3 different sizes. When Goldilocks sat in the biggest one, she realized it was too hard and uncomfortable.
Ooh, this is so hard and not comfy at all.
She then tried Mother Bear's. This was medium-sized and somewhat hard.
No, this one's not for me either.
She saw Baby Bear's chair, which was just right for her. As soon as she hopped in the chair, it broke and Goldilocks fell on the floor.
Ouch! That hurt! I almost broke my leg. What kind of a chair is this anyway?
She was so tired, she needed a place to rest. That's when she saw 3 beds in the next room.
This is great. I'll just take a nap.
Goldilocks climbed into the biggest bed.
Ooh, this is way too high. It feels like I'm way up in the sky. Let me try the medium-sized bed.
When she lay in this bed, it was far too soft that she sank in it.
This is not comfortable either. How can anyone sleep in this bed? I really wonder who lives here. I hope they come soon so I can apologize for entering their house without permission and also for the damage I caused.
The 3rd bed belonged to Baby Bear. It was just right for Goldilocks.
Oh, finally! This one is just right for me. I'll take a nap. I hope the house owners come before it gets dark and help me find my way back home.
She fell asleep right away. At that moment, the Bear family came back home. When Father Bear walked in, he was shocked when he saw the table.
Someone put a spoon in my oatmeal!
Uh-oh, mine also has a spoon in it.
Oh no! Someone ate all of mine! What am I going to eat now? I'm starving!
Don't be upset, dear. Your father and I will share ours with you.
The little bear was just about to sit in his chair when he noticed that it was broken. He started crying.
Someone broke my chair! Where am I going to sit now?
Father Bear knew that there was something strange going on.
This is not right. I wonder who's been in our house.
Let's check the room too.
They all went into the room and saw Goldilocks sleeping in Baby Bear's bed.
Aw, there's a girl sleeping in my bed. Mommy, Mommy, wake her up
now! Goldilocks heard the baby bears cry and woke up immediately.
Oh my, you are so beautiful.
When Goldilocks saw 3 bears in front of her, she was so scared she jumped out of the bed and ran out through the door and into the forest.
I guess she thought we were going to harm her.
Look, she forgot her basket full of wild strawberries. Poor girl.
Goldilocks ran so fast, and as luck would have it, she found her way back home. She banged on the door, crying. Goldilocks' mother heard her voice and opened the door. Where have you been, Goldilocks? I was worried about you. What happened to you? Goldilocks told her mother everything that had happened.
Mom, I'm so sorry. I will never disobey you again.
Her mother kissed her and tried to calm her down. Goldilocks couldn't stop crying and apologizing. Don't worry, you're home and safe now.
Oh no, I forgot to apologize to the bear family. But I was so scared. It was the first time that I came face to face with bears.
Don't worry, sweetheart. I bet they know you ran because you were scared. From now on, don't you ever go far from the house again.
All right, Mom. I promise.
Once upon a time, there lived a king in a faraway land. The king's youngest daughter was very beautiful. Her father loved her very much. On her birthday, he gave her a golden ball as a present.
Thank you very much, Father. I love it. This is strange, though. Last night I dreamed that a very handsome prince gave me the same ball as a present.
The king lovingly caressed his daughter's hair.
Hopefully one day you will get married, my beautiful girl. Who knows? Maybe you will marry the prince in your dream.
The princess took the golden ball and went out to the palace garden to play. She was throwing the ball in the air, but she couldn't catch it, and the ball rolled down into a tall, grassy area near a pond. The princess could not find the ball and started crying.
How careless of me! How could I have lost it? What am I gonna tell Father?
Suddenly, she heard a sound.
Rabbit! Rabbit! Please don't cry. I can't stand it when girls cry. Come here.
What's that? Where's the sound coming from?
A green frog appeared before her. The princess looked at it in amazement. She had never seen a talking frog.
A talking frog? But how?
I'm a very special frog. If you allow me, I would like to help you, my dear princess. I can go into the pond and get your golden ball.
Oh, thank you. My father will surely give you whatever you want in return. Please bring it back to me.
No, I don't want anything from the king. What I want is for us to be friends. Only when you agree to this, I will bring you the ball.
How is that possible? You and me, how can we be friends?
Well, we will eat together, sleep together, stroll in the garden together, play with your golden ball. Oh, and you will also sing for me. I have heard you, and you have a wonderful voice.
The helpless princess had no choice but to accept his offer.
Okay, whatever you want, as long as you bring me my golden ball. If I can only fool him somehow. A little frog can't make me do something I don't want to.
The frog jumped into the water, got the golden ball, and threw it to the princess. The princess caught it, turned around, and started running towards the palace. She didn't want to wait for the frog. The frog stood there, staring as the princess ran. The next day, while the princess was having breakfast with her father, the frog came in hopping from one of the open doors and jumped onto the table.
Good morning, Your Majesty. Good morning, my princess. I hope you're going to keep your promise, beautiful princess. I've come to have breakfast with you.
This frog is talking. What's going on, dear? What promise is this frog talking about?
Yes, Father, he's a talking frog. I was also shocked when I saw him by the pond yesterday. The golden ball you had gifted me fell into the pond. This frog got it out for me.
Indeed, Your Majesty. In return, the princess promised to be my friend. That is why I'm here. Please forgive me.
Then you should keep your word, my dear.
Immediately, another set of dishes was put on the table, and they had breakfast together.
Ugh, disgusting. I feel sick.
The princess felt hopeless as she didn't want to disobey her father. That evening, the frog jumped on the pillow next to her, and they slept together. Of course, the princess couldn't sleep at all. She was trapped in a corner until morning because she didn't want to be near the frog. Days passed. The frog followed the princess wherever she went. The little frog also knew a lot of fairy tales. At night, he would tell tales to the princess. And during the day, while strolling in the garden, he would put the flowers he collected on the princess's hair. After some time, the princess got so used to the frog that she would worry if she didn't see him around. She started falling in love with him. One night, the frog said,
Tonight's your turn to tell me a fairy tale and sing a lullaby. My mother used to sing me lullabies all the time.
The princess took the frog in her hands and started singing a lullaby in her melodious voice.
snow globe.
We have a long way before we reach Sleeping Crater.
Indeed, so we'd better bring some food with us.
Snow White and Sneezy stopped in a village they were passing through to get some water and food.
Do you think we can get the reality stone?
Don't worry. We'll definitely get it and free the prince.
Snow White and Sneezy were tired and hungry from all the walking, so they took a break. At that moment, a horse-drawn carriage approached them.
Hello, guys. I've run out of water. Do you have some?
We have plenty of water. Have some.
I've travelled from afar. I'd better get some rest here.
The man said he was a peddler selling unique items.
What kind of items are these?
For example, have you ever seen a candle that never goes out, or a singing clock?
That's very interesting.
He told them that he knew these places very well and could take them to their destination.
We appreciate it so much. Unfortunately, we still have a long way to go.
Let me rest a bit first, then we'll set off together.
Yes, of course. I'll take a nap too.
Don't worry, my prince. I'll save you and get you out of that globe.
The peddler opened his eyes and talked to himself.
What? There's a tiny man inside a snow globe. A prince. How is that possible?
Snow White was also tired, so she went to sleep.
My lucky day. I can make a fortune with this snow globe. That was easy.
When they woke up, they noticed that neither the peddler nor his carriage was there.
The peddler is gone.
He said he would help us.
Oh no, it can't be. The snow globe is gone.
What? Did the peddler steal the snow globe?
We must catch up to him.
We can't catch him going on foot.
Just at that moment, they saw a deer coming out of the woods.
Hello, we're in trouble. Can you help us out, please?
When Snow White explained the situation, the deer took them on his back and ran after the peddler.
Yes, we're getting close.
But how do we stop him?
The deer knew what to do.
What is the deer trying to do?
What's going on, you useless horse? Help me!
Oh no, the globe. We can't let it break.
I got it.
Thank goodness the prince is okay. You saved his life, Sneezy. I'm deeply indebted to you for your help.
Help! Save me! Please, save me!
Snow White and Sneezy thanked the deer for helping them, and the deer went on its way again.
Here we are at Sleeping Crater.
What's that smoke? It doesn't seem like a good sign to me.
There's a cave. Shall we go in?
It looks like it goes down into the crater.
Okay, let's be careful.
There's no sign of the giant the wizard warned us about. We'd better stay quiet.
We went too deep. Where is this reality stone?
Look, there's something shining over there.
Yes, there it is. The reality stone.
However, they didn't count on the bubbling mud that was making it impossible to get through.
You wait here. I'll get it.
Okay, but be careful.
What a beautiful stone.
Just when Sneezy was about to take the stone...
What's going on? Help! Help!
Yikes! It's the crater giant!
The giant took Sneezy and walked away.
Hey, you! Crater giant! Let my friend go!
Snow White got lost trying to find Sneezy in a maze of caves inside the crater.
Oh no! I'm lost! What am I going to do now?
Just then, Snow White heard a voice.
I don't know what you're doing here, but I will help you.
Snow White looked around to find out where the sound was coming from.
Who's that? Where are you?
I'm here! Look down!
The mole stuck its head out of a hole. Snow White was surprised to see the mole.
You're a mole?
Yes, I am. So who are you? What are you doing inside this crater?
Snow White explained that she and her friend had come to get the reality stone, but the giant kidnapped her friend.
Please, help me. I must save my friend from that giant.
So the giant kidnapped your friend? That's not good.
What do you mean? What will the giant do to my friend?
We must save him before the giant turns your friend into gold.
What? The giant will turn my friend into gold?
I know where the giant is. Follow me!
So Snow White followed the mole and together they went farther into the cave. Will Snow White be able to save Sneezy from the giant? Will they be able to get out of the crater with the reality stone? You can find out when you watch the next story called Reality Stone. When Sneezy was taken by the giant living in Sleepy Crater, Snow White befriended a mole who offered to help her find Sneezy. Snow White followed the mole closely as they made their way through the cave.
There's the giant. What's he doing?
He is trying to catch the bats. He needs them to turn your friend into gold.
But where's Sneezy? I don't see him.
Just then, they heard a call for help.
Help! Get me out of here!
That's Sneezy's voice.
The sound is coming from over there.
Sneezy, don't be afraid. I'll get you out of there.
Please hurry! The giant will turn me into gold!
While the giant was busy catching bats, Snow White tried to open the lid where Sneezy was held captive.
It's too heavy. I can't lift it.
We should try something else.
Wow, you can really dig fast. Mole, you're awesome!
The mole finally reached Sneezy through the tunnel she dug.
Come on, follow me. The giant might return at any moment.
Sneezy quickly followed the mole through the tunnel she had dug, and he was saved.
Let's get out of here before the giant sees us. Quick!
However, the giant heard their voices and saw them trying to escape.
Oh no! The giant saw us! Run!
So the giant chased them inside the cave.
He's getting closer. Run faster, Sneezy.
I'm out of breath. Snow White, we dwarfs can only run short distances.
Watch out for the boiling mud. Hey, maybe we can get rid of him that way. Hey, bats! Can you help us? They are good people.
The bats flew in a swarm surrounding the giant.
Come on, quickly!
The giant fell into the boiling mud. Hey you!
Thank you, bats. I hope the giant learned his lesson.
The giant was struggling to get out of the bubbling mud.
Let's get out of this place before the giant comes out of the mud.
Yes, let's go and get that reality stone now.
They went to the spot where the reality stone was and took it.
We got the stone, my dear prince. Soon you'll be free.
Yes, now we need to find the witch.
Thank you so much for your help, Mole.
I won't forget you, my friend. You saved my life.
I hope you can free your prince out of that snow globe.
After a long journey, Snow White and Sneezy finally arrived at the witch's castle.
We have to be very careful, Sneezy.
This place is pretty big. Where is the witch?
Follow me.
They went upstairs stealthily.
Wake up, Mirror, wake up. Let's have a little chat.
Why will you talk to the witch's mirror?
Mirror, where's your owner, the witch? Tell me now.
Snow White got angry when the mirror said he was a loyal servant to the witch and would never help them.
Is that so? I think it'll be fun to smash an evil mirror.
When the mirror heard Snow White's threat, he was frightened, so he confessed that the witch had gone to the forest to gather some herbs.
So, she's in the forest. Let's go.
For a second, I thought you were really going to smash the mirror.
I knew the mirror wouldn't answer my question, so I gave him some incentive. In truth, bad guys are cowards.
When we find the witch, we have to make her look at the reality stone.
Yes, the stone will only work this way.
So, how are we going to do this?
I have an idea, but first, let's find out which.
The witch was busy gathering herbs in the forest, just as the mirror had said.
I think I've gathered all the herbs I need for my new potion.
Look over there. She's gathering herbs.
Yes, I see her.
All right, what's now?
I entrust the prince to you, so please be careful, Sneezy.
What will you do?
Follow me. Don't leave my side.
The witch might see us.
Snow White approached the witch and called out.
Hey, witch, look here.
Well, nice to see you again, Snow White.
Our intentions are honest. We just want to make a deal with you.
Make a deal? With me? How dare you?
Yikes! She almost got us! This witch will fry us!
I have a great deal for you. I'll give you the core diamond if you break the spell on the prince.
Core diamond? The core diamond is the most valuable in the world?
The witch accepted Snow White's offer but wanted to see the diamond first.
If you're telling the truth, I'll take the diamond and remove the spell on the prince. But if you are lying...
Okay, so we agreed. Here it is. Look at it carefully.
Wait, but... this isn't even a diamond! Ah! What is this? My eyes! Help!
What? The globe? What's going on?
The spell is broken. The prince is free. Hooray!
We did it! Yay!
Save me from these thorns! Help me!
Snow White and the prince hugged each other happily.